Everything you see, from the breeze brushing against your face to the gaze of the person in front of you, is not truly separate from you. Separation is only a thin veil that human consciousness has been conditioned to believe in. Like a dreamer, believing the dream is real until they wake up. In moments of deep meditation, I have clearly seen the invisible thread connecting all life. It is not a vague philosophical concept, but a reality so subtle that most of us fail to notice it. You may think your thoughts are contained within your brain, but I tell you, they extend beyond the body, weaving into the layers of energy surrounding this world. When a person nurtures fear, that frequency does not stay confined within the chest. It travels outward and seeks out minds that resonate with it. When a person nurtures love, it too spreads and finds ways to bloom in faraway places. I once read in a vision that all souls are like small rivers flowing into the same great ocean. No river truly stands alone. It is only the bends and turns that make us believe we are separate. Scientists call part of this truth quantum entanglement. When two particles, even if separated by light years, still respond in the same rhythm. Yet long before modern physics confirmed it, sages understood this through silence and prayer. We are particles of the same energy field, rays of light from the same source. If you have ever felt alone, know that it is only the echo of an old belief, not reality. When you suffer, that energy resonates elsewhere, and when you heal, the restoration also spreads in ways you cannot imagine. I was once shown a network of light surrounding the earth, each point of light a thought, a prayer, a heartbeat. When one point flared brightly, other points responded as if they were part of one single being. This is why every action, no matter how small, has a profound impact. You cannot be angry without touching the peace of another. Just as you cannot love without leaving an imprint on their heart, everything has already been connected by a flow beyond time and space. To live forgetting this truth is to live within an imaginary wall, where people compete and fear one another, forgetting they share the same breath of the universe. When you realize this, you begin to act differently. You no longer seek power by overpowering others, but find strength in harmony. You no longer fear loss, because you understand that nothing truly leaves you. Everything is only changing form within the same stream of life. This awareness not only changes the way you see the world, it also opens a source of energy you have always possessed. And when that happens, the distance between you and anything you desire will be nothing more than an illusion. Science and spirituality have never been two parallel paths. They are the two banks of the same river, and between them there has always existed an invisible bridge. This bridge is not built of stone or wood, but of the eternal principles of the universe. Principles that a physicist calls laws and a seeker calls truth. Imagine you are holding a dice in your hand, and someone else on the other side of the earth holds an identical one. You roll your dice, and instantly the result of theirs changes to match yours, regardless of the distance. No signal is transmitted through space. No visible thread connects the two objects, yet they react as if they were one. This is not magic or blind belief. It is what quantum physics has proven. Naming it quantum, entanglement. When scientists discovered this phenomenon, they touched the same secret that sages, prophets, and those who pray have lived with for countless generations. In my visions, I have seen a similar truth, but on a far greater scale. If two tiny particles can be bound and respond to each other, then is it not possible that every atom in your body can also be bound to the entirety of the universe? This is the point where science begins to step into the realm of spirituality. One side measures with instruments and formulas. The other perceives through experience and intuition. Yet both are reaching toward the same essence of existence. The bridge between them is the awareness that everything is interconnected, People often think that spirituality is merely old stories or sermons, while science is the solid foundation for understanding the world. But the truth is that spirituality recognized these laws long before science had the tools to measure them. Ancient traditions spoke of the thread that connects all beings, of the breath of heaven and earth, nourishing all. When quantum physics shows that observation can influence the behavior of a light particle, it is only touching upon a principle that seekers have lived by for thousands of years. Consciousness is part of the equation. The mind does not merely react to the world, it participates in shaping it. I recall once being asked whether human belief could affect objective reality. The answer is yes. And this is not at all in conflict with science. If you understand that everything is woven into the same web of energy, you will see that every thought, every emotion, is a vibration that travels through the strands of that web. When that vibration changes, the structure of the web changes, and so does the reality you experience. This is why I believe that uniting science and spirituality is not just a philosophical choice, but an essential need for the awareness of humanity. If you stand only on one bank, you will see part of the truth and think it is the whole. But when you step onto the bridge, when you allow scientific discoveries to illuminate spiritual experiences and let spiritual wisdom expand the boundaries of science, you will realize that both are telling the same story of complete connection. This bridge is not one everyone dares to walk on, for it requires us to let go of old frameworks, to stop seeing science and spirituality as two opposing worlds. But if you have the courage to cross, you will see the two banks no longer exist separately. There is only one continuous flow of truth, and you are a part of it. Your consciousness is not locked inside your skull, as people often imagine. It is a wave that radiates outward, permeating the layers of energy surrounding all life. Every thought, even the briefest one, generates a vibration, and that vibration does not stop at the borders of your body. Science has measured the electromagnetic field generated by the heart, stronger than that of any other organ, and this field extends several meters around you, influencing both the environment and the people nearby. But that is only the most visible part. In moments of deep access to the subconscious state, I have realized that the human energy field goes far beyond physical distance. It is like a part of an invisible ocean, where every intention and emotion you have merges and spreads across its surface. When you focus intensely on a thought combined with a clear emotion, you are sending a signal into this field. The field resonates with compatible parts and then responds with events, people, or opportunities that match. This is not random coincidence, but the natural reaction of a fully connected system. You have thought of someone, and soon after, they call you. You have felt uneasy for no apparent reason, and hours later, you receive bad news. These are small examples of the same principle. Your consciousness and energy field are constantly exchanging information with the rest of the universe. When you cultivate positivity, your field becomes bright and expansive, attracting support, wisdom, and resources. When you sink into fear or doubt, that field contracts, reflecting only what matches the lower frequency. This is not because the world is against you, but because it responds precisely to the energy you emit. This also explains why two people can stand before the same opportunity, yet one turns it into success while the other lets it pass. The difference does not lie in luck, but in the energy field and the degree of alignment of their consciousness with that opportunity. Consciousness is not merely a tool for awareness. It is a component of the creative network. Every time you change your inner state, you are changing the way the threads of the network vibrate and respond. And because everything is interconnected, that change will eventually reach what you call reality. This is why prayers, meditation, or creative visualization have real power. When you combine thought with emotion and hold it long enough, you are not merely imagining, You are restructuring your own energy field to match what you wish to attract. In the light of this truth, personal responsibility becomes absolute. You cannot escape the impact of what you nurture in your mind. Every thought is a seed. Every emotion is the water. And the energy field is the soil that nourishes them until they become experience. Your consciousness never operates in isolation. It is always part of an invisible ecosystem. And when you understand this, you will no longer underestimate what you think and feel. You will see clearly that every moment you are communicating with the universe, and the universe, missing not a single signal, will always respond. Your subconscious works like an antenna that is constantly transmitting and receiving signals, even when you are not aware of it. It does not sleep. It does not rest. And it does not miss any vibration you send out or receive. What you think you are choosing consciously is only the tip of the iceberg. While most of the decisions that shape your life are formed by programs deep within the subconscious, these programs were installed when you were very young, at a time when your mind was wide open and accepted everything as absolute truth. Back then, you heard statements about money, love, and self-worth, and all of them became unspoken laws that later guided your behavior. The subconscious does not distinguish between right and wrong. It simply records and operates according to the commands it has received. If you are programmed to believe that opportunities are rare, the subconscious will constantly find ways to prove it, by making you miss or avoid good possibilities. If you are programmed to believe you are unworthy, the subconscious will push you into situations that reinforce that belief. The danger is that you may think you have changed. But if the subconscious has not been reprogrammed, it will still transmit the old signal into the energy field, attracting experiences that match it. The subconscious does not only transmit, it also receives. It picks up signals from the environment, from the people you interact with, from the atmosphere you live in, and adjusts your vibration to align with those frequencies. If you stay too long in a negative environment, the subconscious will synchronize with that negativity, even if your conscious mind wants the opposite. This is why choosing your environment and what you consume daily is so important. When you understand the subconscious as an antenna, you realize that changing your life cannot rely solely on surface willpower. You need to send it new, clear, and strong signals, repeating them until it accepts them as the new truth. Prayer, meditation, visualization, positive affirmations, and consistent action are all ways to reprogram this antenna. Once the subconscious agrees with the new image of yourself, the signal you emit will change, and the universe will respond with circumstances that match. This is not magic, but the natural operation of the law of resonance. You cannot hide from the subconscious, and you cannot fool it with a few empty words. It only believes what you truly feel and what you prove through repeated actions. When you persistently send it a new frequency, it will transmit that signal outward, and from that moment on, the world will begin to reflect the person you have become rather than the person you once thought you were. Every event that takes place in your life carries the imprint of the vibration you emit. Nothing happens entirely by chance. When your inner state is heavy and weary, troublesome situations seem drawn to you, like metal to a magnet. When your mind is bright, light, and full of trust, opportunities and support appear naturally. I have seen this repeat countless times in visions and in the lives of those whose information I have read. Your energy field functions like a mirror, faithfully reflecting what you hold inside. If you carry fear, it will send out a signal that seeks situations to prove that fear is justified. If you nurture gratitude, it will attract more things for you to be grateful for. It is not that the world chooses a particular way to treat you, but that you are choosing your world through your vibration. Many people believe they fail because of bad luck or external circumstances. But when I look deeper, I often find the cause lies in maintaining a frequency that conflicts with what they desire. They want wealth, but live in a state of lack. They want love, but hold on to suspicion. They want freedom, but fear change. The universe only responds to the strongest signal, and that signal always comes from the emotional state you repeat most often. Vibration is not a vague concept. It is the language all things share. You are sending out an unspoken message about your true nature, and every event, person, and circumstance is responding to that message. If you change your vibration, the world around you will change accordingly, not because it is under your control, but because you and it are one unified system. I often advise those caught in cycles of disappointment that they do not need to rush out to find new opportunities right away, but first to change the quality of their vibration. When you raise it, you will see things that once avoided you now move toward you. And when you maintain that frequency long enough, the good events do not just come once. They become a natural part of life, as if you have shifted to a different timeline where everything begins to flow more smoothly. Every time you change your vibration, the universe will send you a test, not to punish you, but to confirm that the new frequency has truly taken root within you. I have seen many people begin their transformation journey with excitement, feeling as though they have broken free from old limitations, only for an unexpected event to appear immediately after, as if trying to pull them back. A person seeking to attract prosperity may face a sudden expense. Someone aiming to heal a relationship may encounter a familiar pattern of conflict again. This is the point where many mistakenly believe they have failed or that the universe is working against them. The truth is that the universe is asking you one simple question: have you truly changed? When you hold on to your new belief under the pressure of circumstances, you emit the signal that the new frequency has stabilized. If you waver, doubt, or revert to old reactions, you are signaling that the old vibration still dominates. This is why challenges often appear just when it seems things are beginning to improve. They are the natural testing mechanism of the synchronization process between consciousness and reality. I once told someone who came to me for guidance to think of challenges as checkpoints on the road to a new land. If you do not pass the checkpoint, you will return to the old land, no matter how far you have traveled. The universe's test is not measured by the words you speak, but by the state you maintain when facing adversity. If you want financial freedom, remain in a state of abundance even when money flows out. If you want lasting love, keep your heart open even when others close theirs. If you want peace, maintain stillness even when surrounded by noise. Passing the test means you no longer need circumstances to prove your belief, because you have become the living proof of it. When that happens, the new vibration is no longer something you try to maintain. It becomes your natural state, and the universe no longer needs to test you, for it has already recognized you as part of that frequency. To change your life, you must start from the place that creates most of your decisions and reactions, the subconscious. Reprogramming the subconscious is not something achieved in a single session or with one positive statement, but a process of sending new signals strong enough and repeated enough to replace old programs. The first step is to observe and change your thoughts. Whenever you notice a limiting thought, do not let it pass in silence. Replace it with a new thought that reflects the reality you want to live in. If you think you are not good enough, immediately shift it to, I am learning and growing every day. The subconscious needs to hear such statements over and over until it accepts them as the new truth. The second step is to enter the emotional state that matches what you desire, even before it appears. This is the part many overlook, as they repeat words without nurturing the feeling. But the subconscious responds more strongly to emotion than to words. If you desire prosperity, live in a sense of security and abundance right now. If you desire love, to feel warmth and connection, as if it is already present in your life. The third step is to act as if you have already become the person you want to be. The subconscious believes evidence more than intention. When your actions align with the new frequency, the signal you emit will be clearer and stronger. A person who wants good health will eat and move like a healthy person. A person who wants success will make decisions and commitments like someone who has already succeeded. When these three steps combine, you are not only changing surface thoughts, but rewriting the deep operating code within. And when that code changes, your entire external experience will change accordingly. Because the universe always responds to the most stable vibration you emit. People in every culture for thousands of years have spoken of an invisible energy field that encompasses all, even though they called it by different names. In India, sages called it prana, the life force that nourishes all living beings. In traditional Chinese medicine, it is known as Qi-Fi, the flow of energy moving through the meridians, determining health and balance. The Hebrews in the Bible called it Ruach, the breath of God given to creation. In Western mysticism, I have seen many approach the concept of the Akashic records, where every thought, action, and event is stored in an eternal archive of information. Though the expressions differ, the essence of these concepts is the same. Everything is connected within one living field, where energy and information are in constant exchange. I realized that the differences in language and imagery are merely the results of culture and era. While the core experience remains shared, the one who prays with deep faith and the one who meditates in silence are both connecting to the same current. The scientist studying quantum entanglement is also touching the edge of this field, differing only in method. When you understand that all these ancient names are simply many doors leading into the same room, you will stop arguing over which concept is more correct. You will want to experience it directly. Because theory cannot replace the feeling of dissolving into that energy field, this is the source from which every soul originates and to which it returns. Where personal consciousness is but a drop in the shared ocean, when you are in harmony with it, you will feel a gentle yet steady strength supporting every step, and in that state, what was once considered a miracle becomes nothing more than the natural operation of an ancient law known to every civilization. Living in alignment is not a moment of sudden illumination that then fades away, but a way of life cultivated until it becomes natural. You cannot hold a new frequency with only a few meditation sessions or positive affirmations. Just as you cannot expect your body to be healthy after a single nutritious meal, alignment means choosing the same direction every day, even when temporary circumstances seem to oppose you. I have seen people maintain alignment even in challenges, and it is precisely that which allows them to step into a different reality, where opportunities and support become normal. When you are in alignment, you no longer act to prove anything to anyone, but because it is simply who you are. A person who wants to live in prosperity will think, feel, and act like someone abundant, even when the money in hand is not yet much. A person who wants love will open their heart and offer kindness even before they receive it. Alignment also requires patience, because the universe responds to a stable frequency, not to short bursts of fluctuation. If you hold faith for 1 week and then doubt for the next 3, the signal you send will be dim and inconsistent, making lasting change difficult. Alignment is also about adjusting the small details of your life to match the frequency you choose. If you want peace, arrange your living space. Select the information you consume, and surround yourself with people who support stillness. If you want success, let your daily habits reflect the mindset and actions of a successful person. Alignment is not only in the mind, it spreads to emotions, words, gestures, and even the smallest decisions. When every part of you moves toward the same ideal, your vibration becomes strong and clear. And in that state, reality cannot help but reflect what you are living. Letting go is not abandoning your dream, but releasing the need to cling to how and when it must arrive. When you have planted a seed, You do not dig up the soil every day to check if it has sprouted. You trust the season, trust the law of nature, and continue to care for it. Many people ask me why, after they have prayed, visualized, and lived in the new frequency. The result still has not appeared. I answer that sometimes the only thing missing is complete letting go. When you keep checking, comparing, and doubting, you are sending out the signal that you do not fully trust, and that vibration blocks alignment with what you desire. Certainty does not come from external evidence, but from the inner knowing that what you are reaching for already belongs to you. When this state is present, the mind no longer asks when and how. It simply knows that everything is being arranged. I have witnessed people reach a turning point the moment they stopped straining to control and allowed the natural flow to move. Some held the frequency of prosperity in the midst of losing a job, and new opportunities came so quickly they had not even made a plan. Some maintained the vibration of love in the midst of loneliness, and a relationship exactly as they had hoped appeared effortlessly. Letting go is not sitting still and waiting, but continuing to live in the state of already doing what you are guided to do, without letting the urge to control every step creep in. This is the stage where you and the universe truly collaborate. You no longer play the role of a beggar or a conqueror. You are part of the creative flow, trusting in a wisdom far greater than your limited view. When you step into this certainty, the energy you emit becomes clear and strong, like the signal of a lighthouse in the night sea, unmoved by waves or storms. The universe always responds to a clear signal, and when that signal is absolute trust, nothing can stop the corresponding outcome from finding you. I have told many people that the greatest power does not lie in doing more, but in believing more deeply. When you truly know you have been answered, you will find yourself acting with greater ease, meeting challenges with more calm, and enjoying every moment along the way instead of only waiting for the destination. In that moment, letting go is no longer a technique, but a way of life, and in that way of life, you realize that what you seek has never been out of reach. It has always been here, waiting for you to trust enough to see it.